Please meet Fran Mooney. He suffered a traumatic brain injury in 2019. After recovering from a coma and enduring months of rehabilitation, he was finally ready to return to the daily activities that had meant so much to him. He was ready to go back to work and to start driving again. Fran will talk about his journey to independence in this next segment.
My relationship to Easter Seals is I went there to get my license back after a long period without it. I went to a golf tournament and I fell out of the golf cart and landed on the back right side of my head back here somewhere. I was in a coma for 3 weeks. I was up at Hartford Hospital after I fell.
How did your wife take all of this?
She just lost her dad a month before, or maybe 6 weeks before my incident. So she lost my father. I'm going to lose my husband. You know, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And at first, my brother called her and said, "Hey, Renee, we got to take Fran to the hospital." She goes, "What, he hit his head? Bring him home. I'll put some ice on it." My brother said, "No, you need to come to the hospital. He may not make it. This is not a bump on the head. You know, he's bleeding from the ear, and we got to get him in the hospital now, or who knows." So she stayed at the Hartford Hospital. She was there for 6 weeks. She stayed in a room and came down every morning and visited me. My son was there. He would drive up and visit me. And I'll share this with you. It really hurts. When I got back home, I felt like I just didn't feel good about myself. I was really upset. I mean, it was an accident. Things happen. But my son goes, "Dad, when I was looking into your eyes, and all I could see was these two black holes, like looking back to my head. My eyes, I was in a coma, and there was nothing there." And he goes, "Mom, is Dad going to be like this? Or is he going to be back to himself?" And my wife said, "No, Dad's going to come back. He's strong. He'll come back and be what he used to be." My son goes, "Dad," I wanted to cry. "Looking at you, and you just see these two your eyes are just like black holes. There's nothing there at all." And that bothered me. It really did. It bothers me now, actually, too. A little choked up, so that was scary. And I realized how lucky I am once I came out of the coma and I started getting my mannerisms back. And it was like, okay, he might be okay. And then from there, I went to Gaylord for like 6 or 8 weeks, I think. And then I went to Easter Seals, and Rachel got my license back with me, thankfully. My job as a project manager is driving all over the place. I mean, all over the state every day, pretty much. And I had to get it back. That's my job, you know what I mean? I look forward to going to Easter Seals. You know, on Saturdays, Mrs. Corbett, she dealt with me, so I could be a handful. And she really trained me and taught me how to go back and slow myself down. Measure it twice, cut it once, you know, stuff like that. Don't be so a little hyper. Slow down, take your time, and let's do it right the first time, so to speak. And it was a long road at Easter Seals. But Rachel, I got to say, she was really good. We became friends, and I felt comfortable with her. She would tell me to go out and take a left. I would take a right. She told me to go straight. I'd put the car in reverse. Everything she told me to do, I would do the opposite. Because I couldn't hear. My right ear is still a little screwed up from the fall. I didn't pass, you know what I mean? And then I had to go back and retake the test back in January, which I wasn't happy with. But it gave me a lot of time to read up on Rachel and to see what she actually did. And then once I started reading up on her and what she did, I was like, you know, she's a really good teacher. Everything started coming, this is why she did things the way she did them. And that's her job, you know what I mean? And it made me a better understanding, and I went back and passed my test, and I got my license back. But I did have to make a write a note to my wife because my wife wasn't going to believe me. I said, Rachel, you got to write me a note, man, because she's not going to believe me. There's no way. But it all worked out good. I got it back, and I'm back to work, and I'm making money again, and everything's pretty much back to normal, actually. Easter seals was the icing on the cake, and as I told Rachel, I had to put this whole puzzle back together, and that was the last piece. And Easter seals and Rachel, we got that last piece in, and I'm good to go. Thank God. The best part is the fact that I come home from work and I go back to my front door. My family's in the house. It was a great feeling. It really was.